No. Good morning, good evening, and good night to everyone out there on the internet, whether you're listening on the podcast or watching on YouTube. Once again, it's time for Lancing with Myself, the 5-minute weekly podcast and YouTube show where I, Steve D from Tin Star Games, talk about being a freelance game designer and contributor and creative, especially when you're low on spoons and low on cash. Today, I want to talk about possibly the silver bullet. Although there is, we talked about how, luck is always a factor. It doesn't matter how hard you work and how much you work, you can still keep missing every shot you take because of luck. But there are some things that just continue to pay off, and there are some mistakes that people keep making. And probably the most important thing, and I think I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again, the most important thing is that you have to show up and put the energy in wherever you can, as hard as you can. There is a story in the Bible that we were taught a lot when I was very young and in religious education, and that is the story of Jesus healing the 10 lepers. Jesus heals 10 lepers, and all of them are very happy, but only one of them comes back to say thank you. Now, a lot of the time that's taught as the importance of saying thanks, but like most mythological stories, it's about psychology rather than the literal action. And the fact is that if you interact with people, 90% of the time, they're just going to go, oh, thanks, and wander off. Very few people actually think to do the next step, to put in the work, to show up, to respond to action, and, communicate and be energized and take part in things. If you ask 10 people to do something, one of them's going to do that. And I've had so much experience with this over my career as a game designer, because I've worked as a project leader, and I've worked as an editor, and I've worked doing all sorts of group and fan projects. I've constantly looking for feedback. I'm constantly trying to manage groups and get energy going. And a lot of the time, I'm always out there going, can somebody give me feedback? Can somebody play test this? And I'll have 10 people show up, or 20 people show up, and none of them will get back to me, except maybe one, right? But at least, it's always less than 10% or less of the people who say, yep, I'm in, will get back to you. Just recently, I sent out something for asking for input about something that was looking for whether it could be used for educational purposes. I literally had 10 teachers go, I'm so fascinated by that, I'll look at that. Now, obviously, people are very busy, and teachers are very busy. Not all of them were actual working in classes, but people in educational backgrounds, people passionate about these things. It's very much in our nature to volunteer, to say, yep, sounds good, I'm in. But it's very much against our nature to actually follow through. And I find this over and over and over again. That's not just one isolated example. When I worked on a magazine, so many people would say, I'm in, and then not send something in, or send something in but not respond to edits, or write 10 sentences and then give up. It is very, very easy to dip a toe in and dabble and then go, oh no, it's not really my thing. And that's fine, but you remember those people. And you remember the other people, the 1%, the 10% who come back. The people who keep showing up and helping out and putting energy in and responding to your queries and adding energy to other people and showing up 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 every single time, again and again and again. Those are the people that you value, And they might not even be the most successful people. They're not always the people where you're cursing their talent. But they're your rock, regardless. Sometimes they are very talented and they keep coming up with new ideas. Sometimes they're not. It's not really about that. What makes you keep coming back to these people and respecting them is that volume and that intensity and that regularity. And as we keep saying, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And the people who are there every step of the way, the people who show up, the people who commit, the people who invest, those are the people that you value. And that's what causes success. Those are the people you want around you. Those are the people that you unconsciously even come back to over and over again. And the people who, don't flake, don't wander off, who respond when asked. You know, that's actually, it's such a rare quality that you know, I know that if I put out 10 requests, I'm going to get one back. And I know that it's going to be less than 10% of people who are going to actually commit to something and set something up and go, right, yep, I'm in. Let's set up a meeting. Here's the dates. Let's do it. I'm in. You're in. Let's go. It's so rare that as soon as I see it, I don't even need to see it happening again and again and again. But when I see someone who actually invests and comes back again and again, that's the person that I want to work with. That's the person I know who will be there over and over again and will make good art and will get respect. And as I say, there's still going to be luck in the game. There's still going to be struggles, ups and downs. You might not be the greatest person in the world, but I'm going to be on your side. I'm going to work with you whenever I can. I'm going to stick to you like glue because you are someone who showed up and went, yes, I'm in. I'm buying in. I'm sending back the feedback. I'm committing to this. I'm 100% in, and I'm proving that by showing up and showing up and showing up and showing up. And that is really the silver bullet. You know, so often people just phone it in. They really do. And I'm sure I've done an episode about this before, but they just phone it in. Show up, have a good attitude, be there, commit, follow through, and you will stand out instantly above 90% of the other people. That's the biggest message. Keep showing up. Just show up. Follow through. Send it in. Get it done. And you'll make your headway. That's what it takes. That's the message. That, if anything, is the silver bullet. Till next time, be good, play games, pat dogs, have fun.